Under a cloudy sky with a game time temperature of 53 degrees, we welcome you live to Pirate Stadium in Oklahoma City for the Class 6A Division II state quarterfinal matchup tonight between third-ranked at 8-2 Putnam City and the 8th-ranked Muskogee Roughers with a record of 6-5. Hello again, everybody, and good evening. I'm Todd Miller along with John Brooks and our PCTV crew. We're glad to be along with you tonight as these two teams don't see much of one another in the regular season, but they've become very recent foes in the postseason. Muskogee hoping to end Putnam City's football season for a second consecutive year in the same round. Last year it was the Roughers 14-0 over the Pirates in the quarterfinals. All time, Putnam City 1-5 against Muskogee. And Brooksy, what a great evening it is. It's a chilly evening. There's a little bit of wind out of the west-northwest at about 14 miles per hour. But you know when you play this week, you know when you play the weekend after Thanksgiving, that you've had a pretty good season, and both of these two teams certainly have had a good season.
Well, I think this. They both had good seasons. I think both teams have probably had the kind of season they expected. Putnam City's had a little bit better season than Muskogee. Muskogee coming off as the defending champs, and the club that, or not defending champs with the runner-up, but the club that took Putnam City out last year. And if there's one thing that hangs over this game tonight is that I know that Putnam City has tried to play down the stretch one game after, one game at a time. But in looking on the crossover between districts, you begin to see probably 2 weeks before the end of the season, Todd, and certainly 1 week before, there was a great chance that these two teams would meet in the playoffs. And it's been something that's been on the mind of a lot of Pirate players because of what happened last year when Muskogee kicked them out and they had to come home without any chance to play any deeper.
One of the biggest summer storylines we've seen in a long time regarding Oklahoma high school football was Dale Condit, the first-year head coach of Muskogee, making the decision to leave Wagner, where he'd been the head coach for 19 seasons, won 277 games against 62 losses and 6 state titles. Wagner, who had had interest in the Muskogee job a couple of different times in the early teens of the 2000s, decided finally to make the plunge and head 23 miles to Muskogee and take over the tradition-rich 6A Rougher program. And he is not disappointed after an 0-3 start to the season. Muskogee playing their best football of the season, and they are coming off an obliteration, as you might expect, of Northwest Classen last week, 62-16 in the opening round of the 6A2 playoffs. I know it was not a taxing outing, Brooksy, but they had to play nonetheless. Putnam City's had 2 weeks since they had that big emotional victory over Piedmont here by a touchdown. I think that certainly, in a game that's sure to be physical tonight, is going to play in to the Pirates' advantage.
Yeah, and you can say, well, Putnam City had the bye. They didn't have to play. In reality, and I don't mean this in an ugly way, but let's face it, the facts are there. If this was not 6A 1 or 2, there wouldn't be 6 teams making the playoff. And I've made my point clear about that. I don't think that's the way it should be. But you had a Northwest Classen team that hadn't been to the playoffs in 57 years, and they got in with a record of 1-7. So you tell me. Bottom line is that it was a prep for Muskogee. But if you're Muskogee and you're not going to get a bye, you get a game where you can experiment a little bit, save people, give them a few reps, make them have that chance to play the week before Putnam City. We'll see if the layoff makes a lot of difference. Like I said, I think memory for the Pirates probably means that they'll be ready to go tonight.
Putnam City closed the regular season here on this field 2 weeks ago, 20-13, a defensive dominating performance over the Flexbone Wildcats of Piedmont. Their only 2 losses came in that rain-delayed game in Stillwater back in the 3rd week from the end of the regular season, 33-20. Their other loss came on opening night to Yukon, 48-35. Obviously, this is a much different Putnam City team than the one we saw in week 0. Yukon, incidentally, last week went and beat Deer Creek 24-7 in the first round of the 6A1 playoffs. You might be saying, well, what's the big deal about that? Well, I can tell you what it is. It's huge in Canadian County because Yukon had not won a playoff game since 1997 before beating Deer Creek last week. These two teams, despite having different records, 8-2 Putnam City, 6-5 Muskogee, both have 2 common foes, and that is Putnam City West and Putnam City North. Putnam City Original beat both of those 2 teams out of district play by a combined 131-14. Muskogee handled those two easily as well, 120-26. We told you this would be the 7th meeting all time between the Pirates and the Ruffers. Muskogee has a 5-1 series lead, including last year's quarterfinal victory over PCO. They won in 22 and 23 by a combined 104-3 score. The last time that Putnam City and the only time that the Pirates have beaten the Ruffers on the gridiron came in 2012 by a count of 20-17. We've had the coin toss at midfield, and we're moments away from the opening kickoff here in this quarterfinal matchup. Muskogee has really dominated the Putnam City School District. I think this is very, very interesting. Last year, they defeated all 3 Putnam City School District teams by a 101-0 count. And the last team and the only team for the Putnam City District to beat Muskogee in football was Putnam City. They did it again, as we told you, back in 2012. All-time, Muskogee 16-1 against the district. They're 5-1 against PCO, 9-0 against West, and 2-0 against Putnam City North. So that sets the stage for what should be a great matchup tonight. A very physical ball game looks to lie straight ahead between PCO and Muskogee. Muskogee has won. They have deferred. The Pirates will get the football and will move from our left to right here in the booth. That is east to west to start the ball game. We'll take a quick 1-minute break. Be back to kick off this quarterfinal matchup from Class 6A Division II right after this on PCTV.
From the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment.
Did you know your new favorite burger has hand-smashed patties made to order, hot and melty cheese, and a tangy sauce? How rude of me. Let me introduce you. Try the all-new Double Sonic Smasher and add a half-price drink in the app.
Todd Miller, John Brooks, the PCTV crew with you from Pirate Stadium in Oklahoma City. Muskogee making their way out of the field on the road white and green. Putnam City about to come out from the northeast side of the all-black with orange uniforms. And Brooksy, not only is tonight the final home game of the year for the Pirates, it's also a special night for our good friends at Professional Recyclers Incorporated.
Well, there will be a very special drawing at halftime since this season started in every home game. If you brought any, you could bring a small sack, you could bring a giant sack. I saw somebody bring in 4 giant sacks for this game. These have been clothes that have been donated to professional recyclers for their community thrift stores. Professional recyclers been around a long time, have donated over $100,000 to the Putnam City School District for both fine arts and athletic events. And that's been going on over the last decade. And they're going to give away 2 $250 checks or cash, whatever you want to say, at halftime. 2 names will be drawn. These are people that donated. Everybody that donated got a raffle ticket. That'll take place at halftime. But Professional Recyclers has made possible this streaming series here on PCTV.
Well, and it's not just the streaming series, Brooksy. They financially have done a lot for the Pirate football program as well as really the entire Putnam City School District.
Yeah, $100,000 or more now in the last 10 years. That's a pretty good hump.
All right, we're ready for football here in the playoff opener for the Pirates. Round number 2 for Muskogee. Putnam City 8-2, ranked 3rd in 6A2. Muskogee 6-5, ranked 8th. Ruffers on the road white and green. Putnam City the all black and orange. Pirates will have 3 deep men to receive the kickoff from the senior 6'2", 215-pound, number 45, Zavalong Ballalong, as he will put the ball at the 40 and will kick from our right to left as we watch here in the opening quarter of play. And here we go. The quarterfinal matchup is underway for a second straight year, and Putnam City is going to return the kick. It's fumbled inside the 10, picked up. That's Mitchell Taylor. He's in trouble, and Taylor is going to be tackled at about the 13-yard line. So kind of an inauspicious start there, Brooksy, on some miscommunication on the kickoff return.
Well, exactly. That's like 2 outfielders in baseball, both going for the ball. Nobody calls anybody off. Taylor's lucky that he was able to get the ball back after he and Savion James had no communication.
Timberlake, Cobb, Rhodes, Chase, Hinkle and McGlory, the starting five of the offensive front for Willis Alexander and the Putnam City Pirates. C.J. Turnbull, who has answered all questions about his move from Class 2A football to 6A2 football this year, opens in a pistol formation. He is a senior, has several college offers, but is yet to commit. They'll shift into an empty backfield and send trips to the far side. Now the handoff to Sloan. He is hit and dropped immediately. No, it's a keeper as Turnbull has it across the 30-35, and he's tackled to the 38-yard line. Caden Harka, the senior Sam linebacker, was the one that made the stop. Kyron Cope, who's an outstanding defender up front, along with Todd Miller, bet on the play.
Well, CJ did to the crowd and to you, Todd, and to everybody in a white uniform down from Muskogee. He fooled everybody. By the time somebody saw he had the ball, he was already 20 yards upfield.
25 yards before the stop, first down and 10. Muskogee almost jumped. It's at the 38-yard line. Now Turnbull will walk up behind the line of scrimmage. He operates in a pistol formation. Roderick Sloan is the single set back. They'll hand it off to him running left. He gets a yard that is pushed back, and that rougher defense is really, really excited now after Hayden Van Hoyt, a top 100 Vite preseason prospect at anchor end, made the tackle. Second down and 9 Pirates. A minute gone here with this opening quarter. Winner will face either Sand Springs or Piedmont next week at a neutral site. Ball on the far side hash. Second down and 9 for the 39. Pistol formation. The tight end is lined up as one of 3 receivers to the far side. Savion James is the single receiver wide to the press box side. Turnbull again changing the play, has plenty of time to snap it. He'll snap it with 2 seconds of the play clock, and they hand it off. No, it's a keeper this time, but he should have handed it off. And this time it was Cope who read it perfectly and gets the tackle for a loss back to the 37 for -2.
Well, it wasn't the same formation and the same play, but the design was the same. Fake the handoff, this case, and try to run with it. It worked the first time. It certainly didn't work the third.
Big third down conversion here. 3rd and 11 for Putnam City. Muskogee won the coin toss, deferred their option to the start of the second half. Pirates 3rd and 11 on the 37-yard line. We're under 10 minutes to go here in the opening quarter of quarterfinal matchup 1 of 4 here in 6A2. Pistol formation, a 2x2 formation. Back to throw, Turnbull. Little slip screen for Mitchell Taylor. Bounces left. He's tripped up as he crosses the 40 to the 43-yard line. And losing his headgear was Arias Parrish, the Willside linebacker. And he also made the tackle. If he doesn't trip up James that time, it may have been a first down catch and run for the Pirates.
Well, I think if he doesn't make the tackle, he's well past the chains and, quite frankly, would have had a chance to take it to the house.
Let's see if Willis Alexander is really going to go for it. The offense is out there on 4th and 5 for their own 43-yard line. Thomas Stone, the senior tight end, lined up right. Plenty of time to snap it, and they do with 19. Now Turnbull's going to try to run for it. He ran up the back of a blocker, and he's tackled on the 45-yard line. He ran up the back of one of his offensive linemen, and it was Thomas Stone, the tight end on that left side as well, that prevented him from getting the first down. He picks up a gain of 2. They needed 5, and what a huge momentum swing, Brooksy, in favor of Muskogee here early in this ball game.
But I do think it says this. Willis Alexander and his staff believe in the defense, and you give them only half the field now, probably would have been 3/4 of the field had you punted it. But you have to believe in your defense if you make a decision like that here early in the first quarter.
First down and 10 for the Union transfer, Cason Delgado. They open in an I formation. They'll hand it off to the first man through and a little bit of running room. And then he's pushed back at the 40-yard line, a gain of 5. And that looked like the olden days, a straight I formation. They handed it to Anthony Heitz, who was just a sophomore running back.
Fake that little pitch and then still had time. The fullback stayed for that 1 extra count. Ball's in his belly. He's down for a 5-yard pickup.
Ruffers averaged 359 yards of total offense, 102 on the ground, 239 through the air. They averaged 39 points a game. Gain of 5 for Anthony Heitz, the sophomore running back. He is lined up to the far side. Single setback. That is Marcus Chapman. They're going to hand it off to him, and he's got running room. 25-20. Slips an ankle tackle. He's to the 10, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Marquise Chaplin went right up the chute. was only touched one time, and he slipped an ankle tackle about 10 yards downfield and then used that 4.5 40 speed to take it to the end zone. And just like that, a great start for the visitors from northeastern Oklahoma.
Well, the hole was gigantic, but after he had run 5 yards, I think he was probably shocked because everybody was pinched in from the secondary, a gaping wide hole, and it was a cakewalk to the end zone.
13th rushing touchdown for Chaplin on the season, and we have played less than 4 minutes, and Muskogee leads 7-0. And was there a flag? I thought I saw something thrown, and now they're going to pick it up. There was a flag of the play. So I'm not certain what they were looking at, but whatever it was, they picked it up.
We'll see if you are a prognosticator correct and see if that 7th point does go through.
Ball along from the 10-yard line for the extra point, boots it through. He's pretty much automatic, 47 of 54 now in the season. So Willis Alexander gambles, and he loses. Time out of the field, 8:21 to go opening quarter. Muskogee 7, Putnam City nothing here on PC TV.
Anyone can deliver pizza. Only Marco's can deliver America's most loved pizza. Hot and fresh and right to your door. Every day at Marco's, get 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. Hello to the Italian way. Hello, Primo.
Two plays, 45 yards, 40 of that from Chaplin, and Ballalong's extra point makes it 7-0. 8:21 to go here with the first quarter. That drive set up by Pirates' decision to go for it on 4th and 5 of their own 43, and they turned it over the 45 after a 2-yard gain. Ballalong will swing his leg, approaches toe to leather from right to left, and a good end-over-end kick. This time it's going to hit at the goal line, and it'll be a touchback. Very wise decision that time by Mitchell Taylor, and they'll bring it out of the touchback for possession number 2 tonight for the Pirates. Putnam City obviously showed that they could run the ball against a Muskogee defense that allows just 65 yards per game by the opposition of the ground. They got 25 yards on the first snap from scrimmage from C.J. Turnbull. 1st and 10, Pirates at the 20-yard line, 8:21 to play here in quarter number 1, 7-0 Ruffers. Taylor along with Stone to the offset of the right side of the line of scrimmage. They're going to hand it off this time, and a little bit of running room as he gets out to the 24-yard line. Pretty good blocking to seal on the near side perimeter as the carry was made by Kami Herrera.
Yeah, real good job on that right side offensively from that offensive line. Those guys have played very well all year long. That time it was Ricky Hinkle and Solomon McGlory peeling everybody out of the way.
It's actually Sloan that carried for 4 to the 24. He's in the backfield of the pistol. They hand it off to Roderick again. 30 as a first down as he spins down to the 34-yard line. And a pretty good hold. It doesn't take the senior Roderick Sloan much daylight at all to do a lot of damage. He skirts for 10 and a first down. Pirates going with semi-tempo here in the first 4.5 minutes of play, down 7-0. 2 receivers stacked both left and right. No tight ends in his package, and out of the pistol, it's Turnbull. He'll throw it across the way for Mitchell Taylor, and Taylor is dropped back inside the 30-yard line. Caden DeFord, who just this week committed to Northeastern State in Tahlequah, read it perfectly, and Brooksy, that play took entirely too long as he threw it from across one hash mark to the other.
Well, and he only had one blocker in front, and you got 3 defensive players over there. There was absolutely no hope that anything good was going to come out of that.
6:55, clock rolling to go first quarter, 7-0. Todd and Brooksy with you on PCTV here tonight from Putnam City's Pirate Stadium. Loss of 5, back to the 29, tight end left. They empty the backfield. They're going to swing it out for Sloan, looking for a block, doesn't get one. Runs first into Delgado when they just finished off by Dryden Spencer at the 33. So he gets almost the loss of the previous play back. It's going to bring up 3rd down at 11 with less than 6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
I know the wideout that time had an opportunity, and that was Savion James. Looked like that he overran the route, though, as far as a blocking wide receiver and had no chance to help Sloan out.
3rd and 11, slant pattern over the middle. Ball hit the hands of James, but it's dropped, and he was not going to get to the first down marker. The catch would have been at the 39. They needed to get to the 44. So a couple of nice plays, and that's really been it, Brooksy, in 2 series for the Pirates.
Yeah. I just things just don't seem quite right now on the 2 possessions. It's just not something's not clicking quite right.
Leroy Lalong, a 145-pound junior, back to punt for Putnam City at the 18. Punting this year has not really been a strength for the Pirates, although it hasn't had to be. They have averaged just over 32 yards between 3 punters all season long. And Muskogee, sensing that, is going to hustle off one player, that is Cope, and they have the men back at the 40-yard line. And they are going to be flagged for a penalty, which will bring it to 4th down and 8. They still punt. High snap. Lalong gets a leg into it. Not much pressure. It's going to hit at the 42. Takes a big bounce to the 40, 35, and it's going to roll dead near the 31-yard line. So pretty good job that time by Leroy Lalong on a high snap coming back from Thomas Stone. 32 yards on the punt, and Muskogee leading 7-0 here. Late in the first quarter, in Putnam City will start at the 31-yard line. The Ruffers, before this year, had won 33 games over the last 3 seasons and 1 state title. That, in the complete history of Muskogee High School football, is the best 3 consecutive run season by a Ruffer team. 5:56 to go, opening quarter. Back out there under center, Delgado fakes the handoff. He's going to swing it out for Ford. Looking for block, cuts left. He's across the 45 and out to the 47-yard line. So Delgado gets his first, Caden Ford gets his first reception from Delgado. Give him 7. 2nd down and 3. They're hustling a player back into the line of scrimmage for the Ruffers with 5:15 to go in the first quarter, 7-0. Chaplin's 40-yard touchdown run right now the difference in this ball game. Beautiful evening. Good crowd here with Handy, as you might expect for the 6A2 quarterfinals. Winner again gets either Piedmont or Sand Springs next week. 2nd and 3, Muskogee. Ball on the far side hash, traveling from right to left. High snap. Delgado hands it off to Chaplin. Again, he has a first down. It looks like a bull coming out of a bucking chute as he gets across the 45 and bucks his way to the 47-yard line. A gain of 9, and it's going to bring up another first down. That's the 3rd in 2 series now for the Ruffers. First and 10 to the 47-yard line. 4:55 to play here in the first quarter, and we get a timeout for an injured Pirate at the 46. Let's take a quick 30-second break. We're back after this on PCTV.
From the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment.
They say you can't put a price on fun, but they don't know what the heck they're talking about. Fun's now $1.99 at Sonic with creamy queso wraps and more. Take that, they. The Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99.
Well, it doesn't look good as junior corner Keandre Huffman is not putting any pressure whatsoever on that left leg. He is hopping on his right leg with assistance to the sideline. 1st and 10, Ruffers at the 47, and it has been just that, a rough start for Putnam City. Single setback, tight end left, 2 receivers left, 1 right. Hand off again. Oh, it's a keeper. Delgado's going to run right, has a first down as he's inside the 45 of the Pirates and down to the 44-yard line. Looks like where they're spotting it might be a yard short, but from up here initially, it looked like that he had the first down run. So it'll be 2nd and less than a yard. Ball at the Putnam City 44-yard line. Cason Delgado has 2 offers from Division I programs, Norfolk State and also the University of Hawaii. He is a VIPE top 100 player, just a junior, 6'2", 185, and played at Tulsa Union the last 2 falls. from the 44 of the Pirates. Delgado awaits the snap back with a running back offset to his right. And before they snap it, we get a flag, and somebody moved up front on Muskogee. So
I think the movement was in the backfield.
I think you're right. It was Chaplin who
wide receiver. I think it's a wide receiver on the far side.
Well, regardless, it's going to be 2nd down and 6. Line of scrimmage back at the 49-yard line. And that's the first accepted penalty of the night for the Roughers. With 4:46 to play here in the first quarter, Muskogee leading at Putnam City by a count of 7-0. The Pirates unbeaten in this facility here in 2025. Delgado with Chaplin offset to his left. The tight end now, that is Barnowski, will motion to the far side. They run that way as they, it's a keeper. Delgado has it, 30 down the middle of the field of the 20. I'll tell you what, these guys have been magicians with ball fakes. And finally, Delgado is tackled at the 22-yard line after a 27-yard run.
Both quarterbacks are even on you so far in the rest of the crowd, right? Everybody did not think the quarterback had the football.
27-yard run, and Muskogee dominating the first 8 minutes of this ball game. Are perched just outside the Pirate red zone for a second time in 2 possessions. Tight end left, high snap. This time they hand it to Chaplin, running behind right guard. And this time the Pirates diagnose it well. A flag comes in at the end of the play. The run stopped just inside the 21-yard line. Now let's see what this penalty marker is about. It came in well at the end of the play, and from the initial indication, it appears like it's going to be against the Pirates. Still waiting to see from our white cap what the infraction will be, but John, this start could not have been any worse tonight for the Pirates.
No, without question. Let's go to the scoreboard in 6A2 in the playoffs early. Sand Springs hosting Piedmont leads 7-0. And that's about midway through the first quarter. Also a 7-0 lead for Sapulpa at home against Choctaw.
Hands to the face, the call against the Pirate defense. So it's now 1st down and 10, deep in the red zone at the 11-yard line. Clock rolling. We're under 4 minutes to play. Opening quarter, 7-0 our score here tonight on PCTV from Pirate Stadium. The tight end is Koda Barnowski. He is lined up left. 2 receivers split short right, 1 short left. Single setback, and they're going to keep it to the ground with Chaplin. He's got 1 touchdown, and he stopped this time after a 6-yard gain behind right tackle at the 5. So 2nd down upcoming with 3.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
I made that statement at the beginning of the game when Putnam City went for it on 4th down and 5 at midfield. There was a lot of belief in your defense. That belief has not held true so far because Putnam City is being pushed around up front by the offensive line of Muskogee.
Yeah, we've not seen that at all by a team, including Stillwater and Choctaw this year. That offensive front averages 257 tackle to tackle. 2nd down and 4. Out of the backfield, it's Barnowski, and he will run the Wildcat as he's going to be stopped at the 2, a yard short of the needed to gain, and it'll be 3rd and a yard from the 2-yard line with under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Well, I'll tell you, they score here, and it looks like they're going to. This next possession becomes very, very important for the Putnam City offense. 3rd and a yard, at the ball just outside the 2. 7-0 Muskogee. Again, Bardowski out of the Wildcat, takes the snap, runs right, touchdown Roughers. That is nothing anew for Cody Barnowski, the 225-pound senior who kind of doubles as a running back and a tight end. That is his 9th carry of the year, and he has now 4 rushing touchdowns, and it's up to a 13-0 Muskogee lead. Ball along will be trotted on to make it 14-0. And this crowd here in Oklahoma City stunned as the Muskogee band plays across the way the Rougher fight song. All this taking place at the east end of Pirate Stadium. Good snap, good hold, kick on the way, and it is
good.
2:26
inside the
he
upright.
did.
Yeah.
2:26 to play, first quarter, 14-0 Muskogee. We're back after these messages on PCTV, powered by YouTube.
KC, We believe in more than just selling cars. We believe in building relationships based on trust, transparency, and treating you like family. For more than 80 years, the Cavender Auto family has built our business on these simple, important values. We call it doing things the Cavender way. Cavender Ford of OKC would like to welcome all Putnam City Schools parents, students, faculty, and staff to visit us at 7320 Northwest Expressway.
Todd Miller, John Brooks, the PCTV crew, powered by YouTube tonight. And rough start for the Pirates. They trail 14-0. They picked up a couple of first downs, but been forced to punt and then turned the other over on downs. High end over end kick. This should be returned. It is Taylor inside the 5. Straight down to the field of the 15. Jump cuts right, 20-25. And then he's tackled high and slung to the ground at the 29-yard line. A return of about 25 for Mitchell Taylor, the 5'11", 175-pound senior. And again, as we alluded to, this right now looks to be the biggest possession of the season for the Pirates. Down 14-0 with 2:18 to go in the opening quarter. C.J. Turnbull will have Roderick Sloan in the backfield. One receiver to the near side. Now it's Sloan. Actually, no, it is Turnbull who tiptoes his way to the near side. He's out of bounds just beyond the 35. A gain of almost 6, and Turnbull running has really been their best play here in the first quarter. Went for 25 on the first offensive snap of the night. Picks up 6 there, 2nd down and 4. And that is the longest play from scrimmage on a first down for Putnam City tonight. Got almost 7 as the ball is just shy of the 36. He'll option to the near side. CJ cuts inside. He's across the 40. First down to the 41-yard line. 5 more for CJ Turnbull, the 6'3", 205-pound senior quarterback. Coming in rushing, he had rushed for 11 touchdowns and nearly 600 yards while throwing for over 1,500 yards with 20 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions. First down at the 41-yard line for Putnam City. We're under 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Pistol formation, and there's movement. Looked like Muskogee may have come across early as they push Braxton Chase, the center, back. And I think that might have been, let's see who it was. I think it was Devon Nero, a 310-pound lineman that came across early. So it'll be first down at 5 of the 46. Second penalty for Muskogee, totaling 10 yards here in the period. Pistol formation. Turnbull looks to throw. He's in trouble, and he's slung down. There he is. Devon Nero got him by the jersey and just threw him like a rag doll backwards. A loss of 3, and that negates basically the penalty yardage before the first down snap. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 13 with 1:15 to go here in quarter number 1. Second down and 9, not 13. 2nd and 9 at the 42-yard line. 1:05 to go here in the first quarter. A motion to man to the near side. Turnbull now pitches. That's Sloan, 50, and he tiptoes his way out of bounds. Pushed out by Cruz Delgado, and he's going to pick up about 8, bringing up 3rd down and a yard. Clock will stop with 59 seconds to play in the first quarter. 14-0 Muskogee. 3rd and a yard. Under center, C.J. Turnbull. He's going to keep it to the stick. He has the first down. To the 48, went right behind Braxton Chase, the 315-pound junior at center, who cleared the way. James Hawes, who's a sophomore out there at defensive line, made the stop for Muskogee.
May not seem like a lot, but pick up a couple of first downs, at least mentally, it makes you feel a little bit better, especially after the first 2 possessions.
Yeah, for the first time, you're right, Brooksy, in 3 possessions, they have a little bit of rhythm going. Tight end, Stone, lined up left. 2 receivers that way, single receiver to the near side. Turnbull to throw, pocket holds, throw over the middle, and the ball is caught at the 40-yard line by Sean Jones III, who had to readjust on that bow-up throw as he kind of looked towards the middle of the field, Brooksy, and then had to go back towards the hash.
Yeah, and this came with a double linebacker blitz that time, excuse me, and a real good job by the right guard, Ricky Hinkle, in picking up that blitz. That gave Turnbull just enough time to release the ball.
Sean Jones' 15 catch, now over 150 receiving yards, gets 8 to the 40 of Muskogee. Pistol formation, and that will be the final.
Toyota's mobile buying unit come to your home or business. We'll guarantee to beat anybody's written offer for your vehicle by $500, or we'll give you a $50 prepaid gift card. JimNortonBuysCars.com. The fastest, safest way to get the most for your vehicle, cash on the spot. Log on JimNortonBuysCars.com, and Jim Norton Toyota's mobile buying unit will come to you.
Jim Norton Buys Cars.
Let's take a quick look at the 6A2 quarterfinal matchup right now. Here are the scores from the other 6A2 games. Sand Springs now has scored again early in the second quarter. They have a 14-0 lead at home against number 4 Piedmont. Southmore at Stillwater, bit of a surprise here, late in the first quarter. Beginning the early part of the second quarter, Southmore with a field goal with a 3-0 lead over heavily favored Stillwater. And Choctaw has scored. Apparently they went for the two-pointer. They lead Sapulpa 8-7 late in the first.
Second down and 2, hand off to Sloan as we start quarter number 2, and he blasts down to the 36. That'll be enough to refresh the down marker. As Putnam City now traveling from right to left, west to east here at Pirate Stadium in quarter number 2. Third first down of this drive that started back at the Pirate 29. It is now at the 36 of Muskogee. And we gave you the numbers defensively for Muskogee. They allowed just 65 rushing yards per ball game. Putnam City is very near or has surpassed that in one quarter. Pistol formation, back to the ground game again. Sloan with a gaping hole. It closes quickly at the 29. He's dropped there, but not before he picks up 7 more. And that offensive line now starting to kind of take control of things for the Pirates.
Yeah, that time it was Timberlake, Cobb, and Rhodes opening up a little bit of a hole. But you're right. You're beginning to feel that at least there's a little bit of confidence and a little bit of continuity taking place right here.
Savion James, the receiver to the near side. 2 receivers wide right. Single setback is Sloan. Or it's actually Turnbull. On the reverse, they're going to hand it off now. And running room, Sloan inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line. Tell you what, their offensive coordinator for Putnam City is really in a rhythm right now. We're talking about Matt Lane.
Yeah. Well, he's got everything going right. It's not an up tempo, but everybody feeling very good right now because every time you're stacking the ball, you're way, way ahead of the chains.
Well, and they're not substituting, so Muskogee can't substitute either.
Yeah.
Sloan in a pistol behind C.J. Turnbull. 2 receivers to the near side. The single receiver is Mitchell Taylor wide right. It's a 4-man defensive front for the Roughers from the 19. Putnam City in the red zone for the first time. Hand off to Sloan. He's to the 15. Roderick inside the 10. And he blasts forward for an 11-yard gain to the 8. And they went right behind Hinkle, McGlory, and the center Chase on the right side.
Gee, I don't really need to talk because I was just getting ready to say that. You already had it picked up. Nice call. Yeah. Good block by Chase, and he came just off of his right side, and a nice run that time by Sloan.
How about this drive? The 11th play of the drive, and they've gone to third down just one time. They're in the red zone at the 8. And now Turnbull's going to try to run for it. He gets free of contact at the 5, running backwards. Touchdown, Pirates.
If you can't walk in, baby, just turn around and back yourself into the end zone. Nice run by Turnbull. He takes the snap, jumps behind his right guard, spins around, and like we said, just walks backward into the end zone the last 4 yards.
That is the first touchdown by Putnam City in 5 meetings against Muskogee.
Well, what a nice stat. That's a very good stat.
On for the extra point, Yanez, and it's good. Just get it inside the right upright. Timeout, 9:47 to go. Opening half. All of a sudden, we have a good one. 14-7 is the score here on PC TV. Muskogee will return the kickoff out to the 32-yard line, and that's where the Roughers will have it. Third possession, and just as big as that last series offensively was for PCO, honestly, this is equally as big for the defense.
You know, I've had a chance to interview Larry Joubert, the defensive coordinator, 2 or 3 times on some of the Putnam City School District Saturday shows that are on 1340 The Game in Oklahoma City. And he's a guy that is very, very conscious of what a defense has to do. I'll tell you in a moment.
Hand off to Delgado, stacked up, bounces right, cuts left inside the 35, gets out to the 37. Gain of 5, that was all Marquise Chaplin.
I got a feeling on that offensive drive that led to a touchdown by Putnam City, there was a lot of talk over in the sideline, Joubert and his defensive front. They've been pushed around more than I would have expected this early. We'll see how they respond.
9:15 to play first half. Todd Miller, John Brooks, the crew with you here from Putnam City Stadium. 14-7 Muskogee, but if you were with us and left, that last drive, 11 plays, 71 yards, nearly went 10 yards per snap, and Turnbull ran the last 5 in backwards from 8 yards. Delgado out of the gun. They're stacking the line of scrimmage. Delgado throws across the way. Keanu James. James is in trouble, and he's finally slung down at the 35-yard line for -2. A flag came in near the end of that play, and it may be on Jamie Beasley, who I think tackled one of the Pirate defenders.
Nice play by Deshaun Ackerson. He's out there in the flat. He jumps around a intended blocker, able to tackle the receiver. One of the reasons why he's committed to Kansas State.
It was a hold, and it was against Jamie Beasley, who had tackled one of the Pirate defenders. Instead of taking the play, which was for a loss of 2, they'll give him second down over and put the ball back at the 27-yard line. That brings up second down and 15, and this is the longest down-to-distance snap that the Roughers have had in 3 first-half possessions against the defense. 8.5 to play first half, 14-7 Muskogee. Number 8 leading at number 3. Delgado awaits the snap back from Hunter Lanier. He'll drop inside the 20. Here comes the pressure. Now he's going to try to run. He bounces off a tackler, floats it out left, and the ball incomplete. Let's see if we get a flag, and we do. They're going to get pass interference against the defensive back on the far side. He never turned around to make a play on the ball. Now that's a shame, because you would have had him 3rd and long. It's an easy call, though, for the officials.
Stephen Matthews.
Yep, Stephen Matthews was the one that was covered out there, was number 5. He's a 5'11", 195-pound senior.
What made it worse, Todd, was I don't think the ball was ever going to be caught to begin with.
No, it was underthrown. If Matthews turns around, he might have had an interception. Instead, in terms of field position, it turns out to be a 15-yard penalty and a first down to the 42. Muskogee trying to answer back, having a 14-0 lead reduced at half. Barnowski tied in left, and they're going to hand it off to Chaplin around that side. He gets to the 48-yard line, a gain of 6. That's been a problem for this Putnam City defense, is really winning first to second down. There is a flag down, and it's going to be a hold against the Roughers and a break for PCO. So the white cap giveth, and the white cap taketh away. And now the Roughers from Muskogee are going to be backed up to the 32-yard line, first down and 20. What do you say, Brooksy? Let's not let them out of this hole.
What'd you say?
Let's not let them out of this hole.
Nice idea you had there.
Yeah, aren't I?
All on your own.
Yeah,
huh?
I thought of that myself. No help.
Really?
I let him out of a 2nd and 15 with a pass interference call earlier on this drive. 1st and 20, back at the 32-yard line. Barnowski tied in right, motion man to the near side. And they will hand it off again to Chaplin, and this time nothing doing. May lose a yard. Looks like they're going to spot it to the 31. And that defensive front that has been so stout this year, leading a Pirate defense that came in through 10 regular season games with 108 tackles for loss, 24 sacks, gets one there for -1.
But playing like that team that's been there all year, not the team that was on the field in the first quarter.
7:15 in Canada play, first half. 14-7, but it's 2nd and 21 Ruffers. They empty the backfield. High snap. Delgado to throw. Steps up. Wheels it over the middle. Pass incomplete. He was looking for Caden Harkin, the backup receiver, 225 pounds, and a senior. And while the pressure did not get home for a sack, they did force Delgado into an errant throw.
Well, we talked about Larry Joubert, the defensive coordinator, talking with his crew during that last offensive drive. That time they got everything up front and everything in the back they wanted. They got pressure. They had complete coverage in the secondary. No hope at all on that throw.
Muskogee 14, Putnam City 7, as we're at the 7-minute mark here in the second quarter. Out of the gun, Delgado. They fake the handoff. They throw it out left. Ball caught at the 38 and tackled at the 40-yard line. I think that was Jamie Beasley, who has committed to Brennan Marion at Sacramento State for next year, and we'll see the Ruffers on to punt. Fourth
You're
down.
not going to get the kind of gamble here that the Pirates took in the first quarter, not in this situation.
4th down and 12 at the 40. The punter is also the kicker, and that is Zebulon Ballalong. The 215-pound senior is back at the 26, gets a good punt to the far side. Hits at the 32, but then bounces up in the air, takes a bounce backwards, and goes out of bounds around the 34-yard line. If so, that's just a 26-yard effort, and off of his leg, it looked like a better punt than that. Make it 27. They put it down at the 33-yard line. So 1st down and 10 for the Pirates, and all of a sudden, you feel so much better about this ball game than you did just one offensive series ago. Both coordinators, Joe Baer, the defensive coordinator, Lane, the offensive coordinator, have made great in-game first-half adjustments. Thomas Stone, one of many seniors playing their final game at Putnam City's home turf, is tied in right. Handoff again goes to Stone. There's an opening. He almost broke it. And now 2 flags come in as Roderick Sloan is tackled to the 37-yard line. If it stands, it's a 4-yard gain plus a penalty. If not, it's coming back. One was thrown to the near side. The other was thrown by the back judge. That would indicate maybe a face mask. And that's exactly what it is, personal foul face mask against Muskogee. So the 4-yard run turns into a 19-yard play. And Putnam City has the football in the Ruffers into the field of the 47-yard line. Pistol formation with Turnbull and Sloan. 3 receivers split short left. Turnbull a throw. Pump fakes. Pulls it down. He's under duress. Trying to get wide right. Does get to the corner. 45. Drags the defender out of bounds at the 44-yard line. And that was all C.J. Turnbull because there was nothing doing. And he took Caden DeFord for about a 2-yard ankle ride to the 44.
Let's get you updated again on other games in 6A2 playoffs. Back in the lead now, Sapulpa, 14-8 at the end of the first quarter, hosting Choctaw.
2nd down and 7 to the 44-yard line. Putnam City the plus side of 50. 4 receivers to the near side. Turnbull looks that way, throws a slant over the middle, and it's incomplete. Sean Jones made a catch a couple of drives ago just like that on a well-thrown ball that he had to kind of contort his body and reach back the other way. And this time Jones, who didn't make the catch, is a little bit injured on the play. Tried to get up and down he goes. And onto the field come the Pirate trainers.
Looks like he might have twisted an ankle. Yep. That throw was real low, and he jumped down. Looked like he twisted his ankle when he did. There was really no chance that time. I tell you, CJ can rifle that baby. That one had a lot on it, but he had no chance to catch it. It was too low.
Coming up at halftime, Brooksy, tell us what we can expect from your friends at Professional Recyclers Incorporated.
All right, there will be a drawing. During all the home games, there has been a bin out front at the main gate. Fans, parents, students have brought clothes from home that they want to donate to Professional Recyclers for all their community thrift stores. And the proceeds go to Putnam City High School football. But every time you brought something, you got a raffle ticket. Some people brought a lot of stuff. They got more than one raffle ticket. All those raffle tickets will be at midfield at halftime. There will be a drawing. And Professional Recyclers, which has donated over $100,000 to the Putnam City School District in the last decade, are giving away $250 to 2 lucky patrons. Their names will be drawn, $250 cash. We thank Dwayne Alexander and all the great folks at Professional Recyclers, and especially in their accounting department.
Tell you what, very, very nice. Yeah, Lisa, who's running the show there. Sean Jones, the more he walked to the near side from where he went down, it looked like that ankle got better. So we expect he'll probably return. They'll work on him on the bench. 2nd down and 7 to the 44-yard line in Muskogee territory. Pirates trying to get this game tied. Sloan, no, it's a keeper. Turnbull, first down as he spins at the 38, and he's down to the 30-yard line. C.J. Turnbull is having himself a game for the ages as he was stopped right near the first down marker, and he did it again. He spun, got free from contact, ran backwards a couple of yards before getting to the 30, a gain of 14. 5:34 to play here in the first half. Pirates on the march again, really in sync offensively. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Pistol formation. Sloan, the handoff, right up the middle. Roderick, first down, inside the 20, down to the 17-yard line. Give him 13 more. That offensive line right now, averaging almost 300 pounds tackle to tackle, winning the point of attack. Tempo now as they'll scrimmage from the 12-yard line. C.J. Turnbull hands it off to Sloan. This time they're not fooled, and Kyron Cope able to get in there for a tackle for loss. Coming in, he had 56 stops, one of the returning players up front for the Ruffers a year ago. And that's his first for a loss tonight and his 3rd for the season. Loss of 4, back to the 16. Brings up 2nd down and 14. Wait. They put the ball at the 17, so it's a loss of no gain. It's at the 17. That's where it was initially. I'll get things straightened out. 4:54 to play here in the first half. 14-7 our score. C.J. Turnbull has had a terrific night. Primarily it's been Turnbull and Sloan. The only catch thus far was Sean Jones for a first down, and that came on their touchdown drive, covering 71 yards and 11 plays.
Willis Alexander, head coach of Putnam City, not happy having a face-to-face with the referee and one of the other officials, and body language tells me that Willis is losing the argument, but he's not happy about it, and he's going to walk back now to the sideline. We'll see if anything comes from it, if he maybe gets a whistle his way later on. Kind of like in baseball, sometimes you do it hoping for the future.
Willis 20-14 in year number 3 here at Putnam City. It's a wildcat or empty backfield. Turnbull's going to throw a slant. The ball is through the hands of James, incomplete. Tried a little tunnel screen, and
Sabian should have caught that.
Yes, he should.
And the thing is, I think he thought he had it, but he could also have peripheral vision, and the peripheral vision said, I got a big gaping hole to the end zone. He looked up, and the ball got away from him.
You're right. He saw green turf before he made the catch. Clock stops with 4:46 to play in the first half. 3rd down and 10 of the 17. Empty backfield for Turnbull. He has quad split to the near side, single receiver wide right. Now he walks up behind the line of scrimmage. 5 to snap it. They're going to motion a man to the far side. That's Sloan. Sloan gets the handoff. He's inside the 10. He's still going. Roderick Sloan has a first down to the 3-yard line. They push him backwards, and then they finally blow the play dead. But forward progress is going to give him a 14-yard run and bring up a goal to go for Putnam City with 4:36 to play in the first half.
You had those 4 wide receivers, but the guy on the inside of that quartet, you know who it was, running back Roderick Sloan. He wheeled back, took it. Great blocking up front. He takes it inside the 5.
Sloan could be on his way to a 4th 100-yard rushing game of the season. They bring Buford in, is the fullback. They're going to hand it off to him. He submarines down, and he's going to pick up 1 or 2 yards to the 1, bring it up 2nd down and goal to go.
That's the first time, Todd, that we've seen that I formation with Buford come in. Linebacker on the defensive side, but he's been in this set the last part of the season, And sometimes he'll block for the tailback. That time it was the quick handoff to him. They're at the 1.
And Turnbull's going to try to sneak for it, and I think he got in. Yes, he did. Touchdown, Pirates.
This baby is a point away from being deadlocked.
And who would have thought that after the first quarter, the way Muskogee was pushing and shoving Putnam City's football team all over their home field.
You know what? You can look at it was almost like looking in the mirror. You had offensive prowess by Muskogee on their first 2 possessions. Great blocking up front. It switched the other way. Same formula for Putnam City.
Here's Yanez on for the extra point. Plenty of leg, and he wraps it around the right upright. And we have a tie ball game with 3:53 to play in the first half. Muskogee 14, Putnam City 14. This is Pirate Football on PCN TV.
From the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment.
They say you can't put a price on fun, but they don't know what the heck they're talking about. Fun's now $1.99 at Sonic with creamy queso wraps and more. Take that, they. The Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99.
Let's look around the rest of the playoffs at 6A2. Boy, things are bouncing around. This game tied at 14. Sand Springs with a 14-6 lead over Piedmont in the second. Southmore has come back and regained the lead over Stillwater. In Stillwater, 9-7. Choctaw has jumped back in front of Sapulpa, 15-14.
LeLong will kick it off to the 14. It's returned. 15 out to the 20-yard line, stacked up at the 23-yard line. As bringing that kick back was Keanu James, number 8. Well, this game has completely changed. Momentum was clearly in the first 12 minutes on the south side of the stadium. It has walked across the turf and now is on the north side. .347 to play here in the first half. Delgado running back in the backfield, tight end left. Pirates jumped but got back. 2 receivers to the near side, Jamie Beasley and Keanu James. Beasley is really, really good. They haven't featured him a lot here in the first half. High snap, they hand it off, and he's decked right at the line of scrimmage. Lost a yard back to the 23.5-yard line. That was Marquise Chaplin again, I believe, on the carry, and it's going to bring up second down and long with less than 3.5 minutes to play here in the first half. For Muskogee, tonight is their 43rd playoff appearance. Their record all-time, 39-37. They've been in 6 title games and won 4 state titles. Putnam City has made the championship game 3 times, won all 3, those coming back in the 70s. Second down and 10. Delgado, another high snap. Here comes the pressure off the edge. He steps up. He's going to run left. Delgado trying to get to the corner is almost drugged down from behind, and then finally tackled as he crosses the 25 to the 26. After all that, he only gains about 3 yards. It's third down and long. Third down and 8. Line of scrimmage at the 27-yard line.
Yeah, Jordan Billingsley, backup defensive lineman, made a nice play to get over there, hold it to a three-yard gain.
Yeah, if he doesn't grab him by the back of the jersey, that turns out to be a bigger gain. 3rd and 8 on the 27-yard line. 3:01 to play here in the first quarter. Clock is stopped. Chaplin now in the backfield as Delgado, with 5 seconds to snap it, better hurry. Snap comes back. It's on the mark. They fake the handoff. They'll throw it out left. Ball incomplete. Hit Beasley in the hands, and he dropped it. And it's a 3-and-out for the Muskogee offense. And whatever Larry Jobert has done, goodness gracious, he has completely flipped this ball game.
Jamie Beasley had really an excellent chance to get the first down. In fact, I thought he had the ball in his grasp. I think he thought he had it, turned and looked upfield, and went right through his hands right at the Muskogee bench.
Here's ball along, back at the 13 to punt. Good snap, little pressure, wobbly kick, and now it's going to be returned for the 47. It's fumbled, and Muskogee has come up with it. Boy, you could see that coming all the way from up here. Mitchell Taylor had the ball hit him and then it hit his hands and went to the turf, and the Roughers have come up with it on the plus side of the 50.
Taylor being consoled by some of his teammates as he comes off the field. He knows what he did. He did what he wasn't supposed to do. I mean, you're never supposed to fumble it. My point is the kick was very wobbly. It was very, very dangerous. There were already white uniforms very, very close to him. That's a situation you look at it on video afterwards and you say to yourself, why did I do that? And it comes at a time when you're right. The entire, everything in this game had changed in favor of Putnam City. Complete momentum to the Pirates. It went back the other way.
1st and 10 after the turnover. That is something that Putnam City has not done much at all this year. In fact, that's only their 4th fumble lost. Handoff, Chaplin, hit and dropped. Back at the 50 for -2. So 2nd down and 12 at midfield. Mason finds offense as 2 blockers in front of the quarterback Delgado. Hand off to Chaplin behind left guard. Submarines for 5 to the 45-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down. Mason Fine is the quarterback coach and offensive coordinator. You probably know him. He holds the state record for all-time passing touchdowns and passing yardage at Locust Grove. And now a timeout called by Putnam City. With 2:13 to play, in case they get a stop, they preserve as much time as possible. Mason Fine played for Matt Hennessy at Locust Grove. Matt Hennessy and Seth Luttrell, who then was the head coach at the University of North Texas, were friends. And Mason Fine, for all of his progress as a prep quarterback, had 0 offers at the end of his senior year. But the Hennessy to Luttrell connection proved to be fruitful as Seth Luttrell took a chance on him, and all he did was throw for over 12,000 yards, 91 touchdowns, and was a 2-time Conference USA Player of the Year. Went on to play in the CFL with Saskatchewan.
Amazing story, huh?
Yep. None of the in-state schools wanted him. He was less than 6 foot tall.
Lots of people think that they can recognize talent. Sometimes they can't recognize it when it's sitting right in front of them.
I remember the same thing being said about one Wes Welker. He was too small. Went on to play for Wes Welker.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Another perfect example.
Bill Snyder said, I'm not recruiting a quarterback that's under 6 foot tall, and thus far he passed on Mason Fine, but I think Fine turned out just fine.
Well, you get a stop here and force a punt. You got enough time to get something.
3rd down and 7 to the 45-yard line. Triangle bunch formation to receivers to the near side. Delgado to throw, rolls all the way back to the 47, throws near side, incomplete. It was juggled by Caden DeFord. And you know why he juggled it? Because there was pressure right in front of him that I think distracted his concentration of the football.
Steve Matthews again.
Yeah. What a job by the defense.
That play that forced the punt earlier. That time he played it perfectly. He looked over his shoulder, saw the ball, able to get his hand up just enough to prevent the catch.
What a job of the Putnam City defense.
Yeah.
They net 3 yards after recovering that turnover at the 48. Here is ball along to kick to the far side, a wobbly kick. Hits at the 18, takes a bounce, it's surrounded. I think it's going to be down to the 23-yard line. If so, that's just a 22-yard punt. 2 timeouts, 1:57 to play. In a 14-14 game now for C.J. Turnbull and the Putnam City offense.
You know, normally we wouldn't be going to the scoreboard this often in a regular season, but when you're looking at the quarterfinals and the playoffs, fun to get back over to the other side and see what's going on. So Choctaw is still leading in the second quarter, 15-14.
Turnbull sends a man in motion. That's slow. They're going to hand it off to him, and Roderick is inside across the 25, still going as he drags a host of roughers with him to the 30-yard line. A gain of 7, and the clock continuing to wind with 2 timeouts for Putnam City and 1:39 to play here in the first half. Roderick Sloan and C.J. Turnbull playing like their high school careers are on the line tonight. Empty backfield, Sloan motions, now gets the handoff. Roderick behind right guard, first down to the 34-yard line. They've lined him up on the slot a lot, John, spreading him at an angle back behind the quarterback, and it's almost like a pistol formation. They give it straight ahead to him. 1st and 10, ball just shy of the 35-yard line. Turnbull, quick throw out left, ball caught 42, out to the 44. That's close and very well could be a first down.
That was a knee. He threw that right through the eye of the needle right there. There were 2 defenders right there. One on the ground had a chance for a deflection. One behind the receiver had a chance for a deflection. He got it into their hands.
2nd down at a yard, just shy of the 34. Turnbull to throw again. Throwing near side. Ball is almost intercepted. I'll tell you what, Drayden Spencer should have had a pick, and the reason why is that the intended target that time, which is, was that Ackerson? Number 7, I think it was DJ Ackerson, was the intended target. He never turned around.
Yep, he was in. DJ was in for one play. Sure was.
3rd down and a yard. Clock stops with 46 seconds to play in the half. Pistol formation. Guess who? Sloan blasts across the 45 to the 46. Gain of 3, and it's another first down for Putnam City with 48 seconds to play here in the first half. Team going with tempo. Turnbull, quick throw out left, low throw, incomplete, looking for Savion James. Couldn't quite make the sliding catch and get his hands underneath it. Delgado in coverage. It's 2nd and 10. Clock stops with 30 seconds to play in the half.
Got to go deep here. That's your color analyst, offensive coordinator talking.
That is money well spent by Putnam City School District tonight on that comment. 2nd and 10 on the 47-yard line. Half a minute to go here in the first half. 0 backfield. C.J. Turnbull drops. He's going to throw, and the ball is incomplete. Oh, he had him. Mitchell Taylor, and the pass may have been broken up that time. I couldn't tell if Caden DeFord actually got a fingertip on it or if it was just dropped.
I think, yeah. I think it was deflected.
It's a terrific play by Caden DeFord, the field corner. That would be his 4th pass breakup of the season. And now this drive comes down to a 3rd down conversion at the 47-yard line. Putnam City with 1 timeout left. Muskogee has 3. Ruffers led 14-0. The Pirates have come back with 2 unanswered scores. And now there's movement.
Yep.
Solomon Glory, as they were moving around the defensive front, just lost his mind and raised from his stance. So it's now 3rd and 15 with 26 seconds to play here in the first half. Line of scrimmage back at the 42. Pistol formation. There's movement again on the right side. It was either Hinkle or McGlory that came up again early.
I can tell you right now that Carlos Rhodes, the offensive line coach, he is not happy.
Well, nor should he be.
No.
That's 10 yards on what was already going to be a difficult 3rd down conversion. At 3rd and 10, it's now 3rd and 20. And it's the end up being 3rd and 10 of the 47. You're all the way back at your 37-yard line. And keep in mind, Muskogee, now there's not going to be a lot of time left, but the Ruffers do have 3 timeouts. Trips to the near side, single receiver wide right. Now Turnbull's going to option. He pitches to Sloan, 40, out to the 43-yard line. He'll pick up about 6. Clock continuing to wind.
Yeah, that should do it.
Ruffers apparently are not going to take a timeout. They will get the first possession to start the second half. And halfway home in this Class 6A Division II quarterfinal matchup, Muskogee and Putnam City are tied at 14. And now the Pirates take a timeout. And I ask why with 9/10 of a second.
Okay.
Why would you take a timeout? You're obviously not going to punt the football. I mean, you're just asking for something disastrous to happen. Am I missing something as to why they took that timeout?
You're not missing anything. Just a surprise is all.
Unless it was
I think there's just a little confusion down there.
Unless it was going to be a delay of game.
No.
And
that
at
was
that
impossible.
point, it was impossible. I do not understand.
Yeah.
Both teams should have been in the halftime locker room instead with 9/10 of a second to go before the break. Looks like Putnam City's going to have to snap it and fall on the ball.
They wanted a little more tricky talk from you, I think.
It scares me. Bad snap, fumble. I mean, bad things can happen sometimes with weird bounces of the ball.
You are really being dramatic here.
Really I know I am, but I just think this game should have been to halftime.
Well, it should have been, but the point is you're still being dramatic, right?
14-14 game. You've dominated the second quarter.
You that you're being dramatic, aren't you? Do you?
Turnbull out of a pistol formation. Now he's going to throw across the way to Mitchell Taylor on a slant. Taylor stumbles, is hit across the 45 and down to the 44-yard line, and I guess that's why they did it. They picked up 19 yards on that slant pattern, and now we are at halftime, tied at 14, and I do feel better.
Would you like the scores before we take a breather here? Because there's some interesting things happening.
I would.
All right, let's look at the 6A2 quarterfinals. Choctaw has moved out to a 22-14 lead at Sapulpa. That's the 5 and the 6 seeds. Southmore still hanging in there. Stillwater, the number 2 seed. They're at home. They've got a 14-9 lead. Both of these scores come late in the second period. And at Sand Springs also late in the second period, almost at halftime, all of these games, Sand Springs leading Piedmont 14-6. Here we got a deadlock at 14.
And we'll be back with the start of the second half coming up in about 18 minutes or so. Again, keep it right here to PCTV. We are halftime and deadlock 14 apiece between the Pirates and the Roughers on PCTV, powered by YouTube.
For those aspiring to change the world, the curious, the inspired, the healers, the innovators. What you imagine, you create. Dare to imagine the future you at Francis Tettle.
Shake and bake.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome back here to Putnam City Pirate Stadium in Oklahoma City. We will start the second half the way we began the football game, and that is in a deadlock. 14-14 our score. Muskogee will get the football to start the second half. They won deferred. And really, the Roughers, Brooksy, in that first half, dominated the first 12 minutes. The second 12 minutes belonged to the Pirates.
Yeah, without question. I mean, the first two drives, it looked like, Putnam City's in major league problem. And then suddenly everything changed. They got some good defensive plays. Whatever defensive coordinator Larry Jobert told his club after those first two quick touchdowns on possession, they got everything together, and they pretty well dominated the game the rest of the way, gave the offense a chance to get back in it, and then things kind of settled down. I think what you've seen is you've had two teams go through a bad period of time on the field and then kind of regroup, which should set for a great second half of play. You want to look at the scoreboard one more time before we begin?
Yep, and give us some stats, too.
All right. Well, first of all, Sloan has already passed the 100-yard mark. He's got 104 yards on 14 carries for the Pirates. CJ rushing the football. CJ Turnbull, 11 rushes for 64. He's only thrown it 12 times, completed 50%, 6 of them for 41 yards.
Incidentally, the fourth 100-yard rushing game for senior Roderick Sloan coming today with that 104-yard rushing effort in the first half. The Roughers will get the ball. Big defensive series to start the second half for the Pirates, and they really, after that second series in which the Roughers took a 14-0 lead, the game completely changed thanks to Larry Jobert's defensive adjustments. And I'll tell you, Willis gets a lot of credit. He's a terrific head football coach, but he would be the first to tell you I'm only as good as the people underneath him. And his two coordinators and the rest of the staff are terrific.
They are. Hey, let's quickly check the other games. And, Todd, you'll like this. Well, two of the others are definitely in doubt. Sand Springs at halftime are now early in the third, leading 14-6 at home against Piedmont. Stillwater early in the third with a 14-9 lead at home against Southmore. This game obviously deadlocked at 14. But Choctaw, this is interesting. Choctaw is the number 5 seed, but they are playing at the number 6 seed. Figure that one out. Choctaw has now opened up a 29-14 lead at the end of the first half over Sapulpa.
You made a really good point, Brooksy, downstairs at halftime. You said in every game but this one, of the 8 teams that are playing in the 6A Division II quarterfinals tonight, 7 of them have had a lead of at least 3 points in the first half. The lone exception right here, the Pirates never led to the first half.
That's right. But they're mighty happy to be where they are because when they were down 14-0 and hoping they could get something going offensively, which they did. We talked about a lot about Jobert and the defense, but the other big change came up front in the offensive line because they began to really peel away some defenders, and they helped Sloan to that 104 yards without question. Really has some good blocking up front.
Pirates again to the home black and orange, Muskogee in the road white and green. Roughers, as we mentioned in the first half, are making playoff appearance number 43. For Putnam City, their all-time playoff record 20-24, and this is a playoff appearance number 29. Dale Condit coming from Wagner. He built that program over nearly 2 decades into a 6-state championship program. He's the 20th head coach in Muskogee history dating back to 1944. Alexander, the 20th head football coach here at Putnam City dating back to 1926. Third playoff meeting all time, Muskogee 2-0. They played in the 2005 quarterfinals. Muskogee won that 34-7, and last year in the quarters it was the Roughers 14-0. Here we go. Little pooch kick down the middle of the field by Leroy Lalong. It's going to be returned across the 30. That's Keanu James, and he is wrestled down at about the 32-yard line. Good kick coverage.
It was interesting. Just before the kick, the two return men switched the side of the field, and Keanu ended up over on the side that it was kicked to, and he was able to bring it out to the 32-yard line.
Not very often you have a quarterfinal matchup in any particular class in which the two head coaches have combined for 7 state titles. That's what we have here tonight, and it is not disappointed between Dale Condit and Willis Alexander. 1st and 10, Ruffers at the 32-yard line. Delgado with Chaplin in the backfield. He's going to hand it off. Chaplin running right, 35, blast down to the 38-yard line. He was hit hard after a gain of about 3 and fell forward for almost 3 more. So it'll be 2nd down and short. And when the Pirate defense, Brooksy, in the first half had success, they were putting Muskogee behind the chains on 1st down.
Yep.
2nd down and 3. Line of scrimmage just beyond the 38-yard line. Ruffers here in this third quarter going with that wind slightly to their back. That's about 15 to 18 miles per hour, moving from west to east. No motion man. They're going to toss it now to James. James to the 41-yard line and punched down out of bounds. A flag is down as the tackle was made by Savion James. It's thrown behind the play, so more than likely that's going to result in a infraction against the Ruffers. Here is the Whitecap.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's holding on number 72, I think.
There's an injured Muskogee player down below. That is James, who was slung out of bounds pretty hard into the Putnam City sideline. I don't know if you can see that on the screen or not. He has now rolled over to his back, and the Ruffers were asking for a trainer to come across the field.
Can the girls get a shot of the guy down on the field where the trainer is? The camera lady, can you get a shot of the player down on the field? I don't know if you can get it where the trainers are looking at him on the Putnam City side, the player in white.
It is a hold, and the line of scrimmage is back to the 28-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 13 with 11 to play here in the third quarter when play resumes. And again, you hope that Keanu James, who is a junior, 5'11", 160 pounds, and there's the shot of him on his back on the Pirates sideline, is going to be okay. Let's take a quick break as they attend to Keanu James. We're back after these messages on PCTV.
From the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment.
They say you can't put a price on fun, but they don't know what the heck they're talking about. Fun's now $1.99 at Sonic with creamy queso wraps and more. Take that, they. The Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99.
They are still attending to Keanu James on the near side. One of the linemen, and in fact, I think it was JoJo Alexander, the junior right tackle, came over, and now you can see that James is on his feet, and he is not putting much weight on what looks to be his left leg as it's being assisted to the far side. That'll give us an opportunity to once more salute Professional Recyclers Incorporated and all the support they've given Putnam City Pirate football this year, and congratulate the 2 winners.
Yep, there were 2 $250 winners drawn. One of them is David Brandon from Oklahoma City. Don't know about the other one. The area code is an 816. But Irma Lund is the other winner. So Irma Lund and David Brandon will be contacted by Professional Recyclers and will be receiving checks for $250. We thank them and everyone that donated so many clothes, shoes, and even in some cases, I think, some small appliances during this Professional Recyclers drive here at Putnam City Stadium. And again, thanks to Dwayne Alexander and all the good folks at Professional Recyclers.
Again, the play that Keanu James was injured on was nullified because of a holding penalty. So instead of being up across the 40-yard line, Muskogee's going to be backed up to the 28. And instead of being 3rd down and short, it's going to be 2nd and long. Tight end lined up left. That's Barnowski. They're going to hand it straight ahead to Chaplin. He is hit, spins off contact, and then they sling him to the ground back at the 21-yard line. Forward progress will get him 2 to the 30, but goodness gracious, they stacked the line and absolutely won the battle at point of attack. 3rd and 11 for Muskogee at the 30-yard line. 10:42 to play here in the third period. Todd Miller, John Brooks, and the crew with you on this quarterfinal Friday night from Putnam City. Final home appearance at Pirate Stadium for this terrific football team that has won 8 of 10 and finished runner-up in a very difficult 6A Division II District 1. 3 receivers to the near side, including Coda Barnowski. Now he's going to be lined up as the tight end. 2 receivers to the near side. They empty the backfield, send him in motion. Back to throw Delgado over the middle. First down catch. That's Jamie Beasley. And Beasley's all the way into Putnam City territory, down to the 48-yard line. He just kind of set down to the seam of that defense, and it was a terrific catch and throw by Delgado.
20-yard pickup, first down. That's the best throw of the game as far as I'm concerned, either side of the ball.
Delgado was really good. We told you he holds offers from the likes of Norfolk State and Hawaii. He has thrown for over 2,000 yards and 24 touchdowns. At times, interceptions have been a problem. He's thrown 11 this year, but not on that one. First down to the plus side of the 50 at the 48-yard line. Tied in right, single, set back, Chaplin. Now the quarterback's going to keep it. Delgado hemmed inside, and he's going to cut up field as he gets just inside the 45, close to the 44. Gain of about 3.5 will bring up second down as this game just moving right along with already less than 9.5 minutes to play in the third quarter.
The Defensive Player of the Year by the vote of the coaches in 6A2 in this district was Tripp Alexander. He was the guy that circled back, made the cut.
Tripp began the season as a Vibe Top 100 player, 6'2", 270, a senior. Missed early games, but has been really, really active since returning. 2nd and 7. Hand off to Chaplin behind right guard. Chaplin first down inside the 40. He struggles down to the 37. That'll be a gain of 8. He needed 7, and right now the Ruffers starting to control the ground game with 9 minutes to play here in the third, and we're tied at 14.
Got a little bit of rhythm going, got a nice tempo going, and really, for the first time since the 2 first possessions, they're actually showing a little bit of crispness up front as far as their offensive line being able to move people out of the way.
He played the Delgado to Jamie Beasley, 20-yard catch and run, set Muskogee up into Putnam City territory. Barnowski tied in right. They run behind him with Marquise Chaplin. And not much doing. He'll get about 2.5 just inside the 35. 8.5 and counting to play. 14-14 tie. Muskogee with the first possession of the second half.
You know, he looked like he wasn't going to get much, but he ends up getting 4 out of the play.
Pirates did a good job fighting off the point of attack because they had loaded that side with Coda Barnowski, the tight end, who's a good blocker, 6'2", 225, and they were able to shove him out of the way and limit the damage to just 2. 2nd and 8 of the 35. Ruffers on the far side hash into Putnam City territory. Again, they're going to hand it straight ahead. That's Chaplin. Again, he's hit on the secondary, and he's gone. Marquise Chaplin. Almost the same play, the same result of the Ruffers' first touchdown tonight, right up the chute. 35 yards. His first one was 40. And just as Muskogee did to start the ball game, they take their first possession for 6 to begin the third quarter.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think it was Stephen Matthews that he got free from, and when he did, there was no help coming from any place.
2 touchdowns for Chaplin, combining for 75 yards of those 2 scores. Here is ball along for the extra point. High snap, ball down, kick is in the air, and the extra point is no good. He missed it wide right, and it's 20-14 with 7:53 to play here in the third quarter. And Brooksy, earmark that. We saw a botched extra point late in the game in the victory over Choctaw, proved to be the difference for Putnam City.
Exactly. Happened a long way from the end of the game. Could be the key thing when it's all over.
So it is 20-14, and Yanez might not have the most powerful leg you're going to see, especially at this level of high school football, but that guy has been extremely reliable. He is 2 for 2 tonight and has 45 extra points of the season in 54 and 59 tries. And we talk about special teams. Sometimes it gets overlooked, but it is just as much of a part of the game as the offense and defense. 20-14 with 7:53 to play here in the third quarter. As Zevalong Balalong, or as they say in Muskogee, you can just call him Z, will get a 7-yard run and approach and kick it off for the first time here in the second half. Goes right to left. This is his best kick of the night. So that's going to sail about 8 yards deep into the end zone. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20 for C.J. Turnbull, who again in the first half was very good rushing the football. He carried 11 times for 64 yards.
Well, it's interesting to look back to the first quarter. There was that very 3 downs and out on the first possession for Putnam City, and then 2 quick possessions and 2 quick scores for Muskogee, and then they were shut the rest of the way. Here, they get a long drive to get started here. We'll see what happens the rest of the way.
Sloan motions from slot left. They're going to option right as Turnbull pitches to Roderick at the 30 or at the 20, and he's punched down at the 25-yard line. Arias Parrish, the 5'11", 185-pound senior will linebacker, was the one that made the stop. And we get an official stoppage of play after a gain of 3 on first down by Roderick Sloan, who now has carried for 107 yards on 15 carries. Not certain what this delay is about. They were about to bring Damarian Berryman, a backup corner, into the ballgame. They said, wait a minute. Cruz Delgado, who is the boundary corner, may have been shaken up a little bit, and he comes out. Now Berryman is into the lineup on 2nd down and 7 on the 23-yard line. Twins to the near side. Stone the tight end this way as well. They're going to throw it out left. Taylor the reception, and he's wrestled down right near the 30. From up here, it looks like it's less than a half yard from the first down, so they're going to snap it at 3rd and short.
As soon as you said that, they changed their mind. First down.
Did it not look short from up here? Looked like they were spotting it just inside the 30. We'll take it. It's a good route run by Mitchell Taylor. He knew right where the first down stick was. 7:10 to go here in the third quarter. First down and 10 to the 30. Fake handoff, threw out left. Taylor has the catch, spins away 40, outside the numbers 45, and tackled there by Drayden Spencer at the 46-yard line. A little pitch and catch for 16. Punch, counter punch as the Pirates come right back at the Roughers.
Hey, Todd, if it works once, you want to try it twice, see if it works twice. It did work twice. Same play.
First and 10 to the 46-yard line with 6:40 to play and the clock rolling third quarter. Muskogee by 6, 20-14. Option right, Turnbull. He's in trouble, and he is going to get to the line of scrimmage and no further. He ran right into Koda Barnowski, the Mike linebacker, who had a little bit of help from some of his friends, and Barnowski, in good sportsmanship, kind of taps Turnbull on the top of the helmet and says, it's okay. They never really did get CJ to the ground, but no gain brings up 2nd and long. This game is just flying by. 6A Division II state quarterfinals. Muskogee and Putnam City, number 3 trailing number 8 in the second half. Pistol formation. Sloan hit the backfield. And now he's going to run into a host of defenders. He'll pick up a yard. He was initially hit that time by Kyron Cope, and then Caden Harkin came in to finish him off at the 47. 3rd down and long. And Putnam City has not had to go to 3rd down much tonight. In fact, they are 2 for their last 3 on 3rd downs and 2 for 5 in the first half. 3rd and 9 at the 47-yard line. They need to get to the plus side of the 50 to keep the possession alive. Sloan is slot left, one of 2 receivers that way, a twin set to the near side. C.J. Turnbull, empty set with a tight end Thomas Stone to the left. Back to throw Turnbull over the middle, ball incomplete. Probably should have been caught by Sloan, was dislodged from behind by Jamie Beasley. And now decision time for Willis Alexander. He went for it about the same place on the field in the first quarter that led to a touchdown for Muskogee. This time he said, we're going to punt and play defense.
I think the scenario is a bit different right now.
Decaden Ford and Jamie Beasley are deep to receive the punt. Ford is up at the 36-yard line, and Beasley is back at the 19. And they got the punter, and that's going to give Putnam City a first down. The punt rolls dead at the 29-yard line, and unfortunately, the punter is down and writhing in pain back at the 34-yard line. I believe that is Leroy Lalong. Now he's helped up, and Lalong is going to gimp to the near side.
Treshawn Pouncil has given the gift.
Thank you so much, Pouncil. First down for Putnam City on the roughing the kicker call. Plays like that, games like this, moments like this can swing the game in favor of one team and send the other team home. Let's see if the Pirates can capitalize on the gift after the 15-yard penalty. The ball rests at the 37-yard line. Roderick Sloan is the slot receiver to the near side. Two receivers wide left. Now they're going to motion Sloan behind the quarterback Turnbull. He'll fake the handoff. CJ running right. He's to the 30, angling to the 25. And drug out of bounds by Cruz Delgado, but that's a first down carry of 13 to the 24 of Muskogee.
And if you're on the defensive side for Muskogee, you see Sloan in motion, you can't help but start to inch over, and the inch over cost him because Turnbull coming back against the inching, got outside, got the big gain.
Brooksy, you're right. They have set that play up, that very single play, all the entire first half. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. So the Pirates just 24 yards away from perhaps taking the lead. Fake handoff, throw over the middle, pass knocked down by Parrish, incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10, and the clock stops with 5:06 to play here in the third quarter. Muskogee 20, Putnam City 14. Pirates have never led this game, and in fact trailed early 14-0 after the referee's first two possessions.
After that last run, CJ starting to inch up towards that 100-yard spot. He's at 82 yards.
He's had 3 carries of 15 yards or longer tonight. Tight end lined up left. Now it's Stone, motion right. They sweep wide left with Sloan. He's inside the 20, tackled at the 17-yard line. Good gain on 2nd and long, picks up 7. It's 3rd and short. We're under 5 minutes now to play here in the third quarter, 20-14 Muskogee. Pirates perched inside the rougher red zone. Big night on the ground for a Putnam City offense facing a very stingy Muskogee defense through 11 games, allowing just 65 yards per outing on the ground. 3rd down and 3 at the 17. Likely 4-down territory if you don't get it right here. They're going to motion. No, Sloan stays in the backfield. He's on the left hip of Turnbull. CJ fakes the handoff. He's going to try to run for it. Kyron Cope has him and drags him backwards. They call him the Echo up front. And he's had a big night tonight. Came in with 56 tackles. He's over 60 now. He stops Turnbull for no gain. It's 4th and 3 at the 17. Next snap will come with under 4 to play in the third.
Well, here you go. A play right here you'll go back to no matter what happens the rest of the way and no matter what happens on this play. This will be one you'll come back to right here.
Pistol formation. They need to get to the 14-yard line. It's 4th down and 3. Tonight on 4th downs, the Pirates are 0 of 1. 2 receivers left, tied into the press box side is Stone. Single receiver to the near side as well. Handoff goes to Sloan. He did not get there. In fact, he's going to lose. Boy, they just blew up the line. Spencer came up. Barnowski came up for the back end of the linebacking core. Cope was in the vicinity as well, and now you have to turn matters over to your defense. He officially leaves us 2 back to the 19, so the Pirates are now 0 for 2 on 4th down tries.
Christian Rhodes on that left side, along with the biggest guy out there, Trevion Timberlake Cobb. They just simply got nobody out of the way, and they were being pushed back themselves. Turnover on possession. The lead from Muskogee, they got the ball back.
Each team's offensive line has taken turns and dominated this ball game. It's the Roughers of the first and third quarters. Handoff, running right, Chaplin across the 20, and he is down to the 23-yard line. Gain of 4. He stayed in bounds, so the clock continues to roll with 3:17 to play in the third, 20-14 Muskogee.
You got a situation right now where if there wasn't the penalty earlier, the ball would be about where it was, etc. But, boy, when you get a golden opportunity on a roughing passer penalty against you and you can't take advantage of it, it could definitely come back to haunt you.
The biggest penalty in a game that has certainly been far from marred by penalties, and the Pirates could not take advantage of it. 5 yards officially for Marquise Chaplin. He now is over 100 yards rushing tonight. Roughers have it at the 24-yard line. Tight end lined up left. It's a quarterback keep, and Delgado has the first down out to the 30-yard line. Went right behind Courtney Nash and JoJo Alexander, a sophomore and a junior on the right side. 2 seniors, a pair of juniors, and a sophomore working for Dale Condit's team up front, an offensive line that averages 255-plus pounds tackle to tackle. Putnam City, aided by that penalty, used up over 5.5 minutes of this third quarter clock, but it seems like Muskogee has been in possession most of this quarter. Double tight look, single setback. Delgado out of the gun. 1-by-1 formation. Delgado is going to, that's actually Koda Barnowski who's going to run, and he gets a yard to the 32. Barnowski, they have used him a lot inside the red zone, but we were talking with rougher personnel before the ball game, and they said that, quite honestly, look for him maybe to carry more between the 20s than he did right there for a minimal gain of 1.
Todd, this third quarter has moved like a speed train, hasn't it? Look at that, 1:40 to play.
20-14 Muskogee, second down and 9 at the 32-yard line. Again, that wind was out of the west-northwest at about 14 to 18 miles per hour at kickoff. So it will be directly in the face of the Roughers in just 1:19. Second and 9 for the 32. Tight end left, tight end right. Again, high snap. Barnowski's going to run. Running right for 35. Spun down to the 38-yard line. A gain of 6, third and manageable, as Koda Barnowski has carried on back-to-back plays on this drive, using a little power package with a couple of tight ends, and so far it's worked pretty well.
Well, it's easy to get dramatic and say, oh, here we go, it's third down, this is the play. It's too early to get too dramatic, but no question, if you could get a stop here and force a punt, you have a different situation heading to the final quarter, which is now only 50 seconds away.
It's not dramatic to say you have to stop them at some point of this possession. Same formation, 2 tights on third and short for the 39. Barnowski to run for it at the 41, and he's punched down to the 42. Tell you what, he doesn't run a lot. Only 7 carries in 11 games, but Brooksy, he looked for everything in the world on that carry like a running back. He was very, very poised, waiting for a little something to develop as there's an injured Pirate out there on the field. Gain of 3. Koda Barnowski going out of the Wildcat the entire, well, not the entire, but the last 3 snaps from the point the last first down to the 31 was recorded by Muskogee. The Roughers have tradition that is really unlike many teams in the state of Oklahoma. We mentioned that they have been to the playoffs now 44 times. They're looking for their 40th postseason victory. They made 16 trips to the state semifinals. A win tonight would give them 17.
Jordan Billingsley, the junior, being helped off the field.
Well, that's unfortunate. He looks like he's in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Not much weight being put on that leg as he's being assisted off the field. But you add the like of Dale Condit and his staff, brought over his defensive coordinator from Wagner, that being Travis Bryant. Added Mason Fine. We talked about that hire in the first half and what a good hire it indeed was. Mason's going to make an outstanding high school football coach. Clock will begin to roll now as they get Billingsley off the field. We're under a half minute down to play in the third quarter. The Roughers are going to be in no hurry to snap it. In fact, they're not going to have to snap it again. So we will go to the final 12-minute quarter on Quarterfinal Friday night from OKC. Number 8 Muskogee 20. Number 3 Putnam City 14. Fourth quarter is coming up next on PCTV, powered by YouTube.
Anyone can deliver pizza. Only Marco's can deliver America's most loved pizza. Hot and fresh and right to your door. Every day at Marco's, get 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. Hello to the Italian way. Hello, Primo.
Looking live at Putnam City Pirates Stadium. Quarterfinal Friday night, 12 minutes to decide who gets either Piedmont or Sand Springs. Right now, Muskogee with the upper hand, 20-14. Brooksy, how about that Sand Springs Piedmont game?
Well, it looks like it's going to be Sand Springs. They're the number 1 seed, and they have a 27-6 lead at home late in the third period against Piedmont. Stillwater now has pulled away to a 2-possession lead over Southmore, 20-9. That's also late in the third. And another late score early in the third period. Well, this is midway through the third. Choctaw with a 29-14 lead over Sapulpa.
So it looks like East versus West so far, with the exception of the Stillwater-Southmore rematch from Division I play, that it looks like District 1 is leading 2-1 over their eastern counterparts. Here it's 20-14 Muskogee. Out of the Wildcat, they get it to, I believe, Jonathan Adams, and he is spun down after no gain to the 42. Second down and 10. I'm trying to see if that was Adams or not. Might have been Delgado. I think it was. It was Delgado, no gain, and we're a half minute into the fourth quarter.
Well, and it was Delgado on the tackle also. How you like that?
It's pretty good.
From one Delgado to another.
Second and 10. Muskogee at their own 42-yard line, moving from our left to right. Opening minute of play in the fourth quarter. Delgado, the snap, is going to toss it left, and a great tackle. What a great tackle that time by the Pirate defense. They came up and took the legs right out from underneath Marquise Chaplin. Trying to see who it was.
I got you. It was our boy, Stinson Powers.
How about that? Really good play. Stayed at home and drops him for a loss to the 39. Third down and 13.
You want to get dramatic, that might be the best defensive play considering the situation where the ball is, scoreboard time, everything so far tonight.
Totally agree. Third and 13 to the 39-yard line. The Putnam City crowd down below starting to make noise. Good crowd here on quarterfinal Friday night. Delgado out of the gun. Fakes the handoff. He's going to try to throw for it. He throws low. Incomplete. As Jonas Stinson Powers was in coverage that time, they were trying to find Jamie Beasley, their top receiver.
Had he caught it, he still would have been knocked out of bounds about 2.5 yards short, and that would have brought up an interesting decision. No decision here now. Muskogee, they'll be punting it away with a 6-point lead, 10.5 to go in the game.
This is the biggest punt of the season for Ballalong as he stands back at the 25-yard line. Snap floats back, no pressure. A high punt, a short punt, hits at the 41, takes a bounce for the Ruffers inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. So he'll get 30 yards down to the 39 and still pretty good starting field position for the Pirates, who need just a touchdown, an extra point to take the lead with 10:18 to go. Turnbull has not had a typical Turnbull night throwing the football. He has, however, had a very good night rushing the ball. Sloan is already over 100 yards. CJ very close. They empty the backfield and they motion Roderick to the backfield. They're going to hand it to him straight ahead as he's across the 35 up to the 38-yard line and then push backwards. Kyron Cope, I'll tell you, this guy's a really good player up there. Led the defensive charge for Muskogee. Second down and 6. 9:45 to play in the ball game. Pirates are down 6. Pressure off the edge. Handoff slowed again. 40-43. Push back about a half yard short as they spot it just shy of the 44. So they'll snap it again on third down and short. We're 2.5 minutes plus into the fourth quarter.
Unofficially, that got Sloan 17 carries for 139.
His fourth 100-yard rushing game at 11 starts as a senior. And now the officials come in. They don't like where the ball's spotted. I don't blame them. They had it spotted shy of the 33. They initially marked it just shy of the 34, and they do move it up. So it's third and about half the length of the football to convert. Stone, the tight end, with his hand on the turf to the right, and they're going to push Turnbull for the first down to the 46-yard line. So they'll stop the clock momentarily for the movement of chains with 9:11 to play. Muskogee 20, number 3 Putnam City at home 14. However, you get to wondering just how big that missed extra point by Ballalong could possibly be here in the winning moments of this ball game. Wide to the far side, Sean Jones the third. He injured an ankle in the first half after having a big catch for a first down. He's one of two to the far side, two receivers to their side. One is the slot back Sloan. They motion him and hand him straight ahead. Slips an ankle tackle, 40. Rudrick down to the 38-yard line and wrestled down there. He slipped an ankle tackle about 4 yards past the line of scrimmage, and now Putnam City wants to hurry after the gain gets to the 38 of Muskogee. Turnbull snaps it, same play, hand off to Sloan. This time, the Roughers have it diagnosed perfectly. He's going to pick up a couple to the 36, and then he's greeted that time by Kyron Cope, among others. Also looked like James Hawes, the sophomore, being very active out there on that down line as well. 2nd down and 8. Right now, the Pirates down 6, content to take as much time off the clock as they can. 8:13 to play. 20-14. Empty backfield. Turnbull's going to try to run. 35 and wrestled down at the 31 by Spencer. He falls to the 30. It's going to be about 1.5 yards short of the needed yardage to gain. So 3rd down upcoming. On this drive, Putnam City is 1 for 1 on 3rd downs. They are 1 for 3 here in the second half. Winding towards 7:45 to play. Muskogee 20, Putnam City 14. Muskogee all-time against Putnam City School District teams 16-1. The only one by Putnam City football back in 2012. Muskogee tried to end the Pirates season for a 2nd consecutive year and a 4th time all told, and the Roughers now want a timeout. With 7:29 to play, we'll keep it right here with Putnam City on the march and the Pirates trailing by 6, 20-14. And I keep bringing it up, Brooksy. Maybe I can talk it into existence, but we're about halfway through the 4th quarter, and that one missed extra point looks very, very large to me out there on the board.
Going to get bigger and bigger. The fewer numbers on that clock, it gets bigger and bigger. And that was a brilliant follow-up to what you set me up for. Sapulpa has scored to cut the lead against Choctaw. Choctaw is still in front, but now an 8-point lead, 29-21. Sand Springs looks like they're going to advance. They have a 28-6 lead over Piedmont. The game in the 4th quarter. And Stillwater in the 4th quarter with an 11-point lead, 20-9 over Southmore. Most likely you're going to have on the other side of the bracket, you're going to have Choctaw and Stillwater. On this side, we'll find out shortly.
3rd down and 2. Winner would likely get number 1 seed, Sand Springs. Hand off to number 2, Sloan, and he's close to the 1st down. Kyron Cope ran him down from behind at the 27, and that should be enough to refresh the down marker. Looks like there's a yellow hanky, though, rested to the far sideline. And Muskogee is saying that it's against Putnam City. It is, however, against the Roughers.
Yeah.
They were offside, so they'll decline. 1st down and 10.
He got 6 on the play, right?
Yep. At the 27-yard line.
That's his 20th carry, 164.
Clock begins to roll with 7:13 to play. Putnam City on the drive. We're glad to have you along on PCTV, powered by YouTube. Buford is in there as the fullback. He'll lead on a toss sweep right. It's juggled. Sloan fell back on it. Did he?
He recovered, but
he
barely.
did, but he almost lost it after he was on it. That'll go for -5 to the 32. And the fumble bug already has bitten the Pirates once tonight, something that had not during the regular season. Only 3 lost fumbles for PCO in 10 games.
He had to be quick to get there because there were 3 white shirts around him. He barely got that baby recovered.
2nd and 15, a loss of 5, back at the 32. Only the 2nd play for a loss tonight. This Rougher defense is recorded against Roderick Sloan. Sloan is deployed as the slot to the far side. 2-by-2 formation. Now Sloan motions into the backfield. They try to hand it off to him again and nowhere to go. He ran into Harkin, and they may have gone to the well one time too many as he loses a yard.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth. That has been working and working. Send him out as a wide receiver, inside receiver. Alley-oop him back around like a rainbow. It's been working. That time it did not. 2 white shirts waiting for him, no gain.
3rd and 16, so back-to-back snaps for losses for Roderick Sloan. Line of scrimmage at the 33. Putnam City needs to get to the 17 of the Roughers. Turnbull goes up behind the line of scrimmage. He'll operate out of a pistol formation with Thomas Sloan line to the left. They're going to throw it in the slot for Sloan. Breaking tackles, gets to the 29-yard line. He'll be helped up there by the defender that made the stop, and that is Cruz Delgado. But it's going to bring up 4th down and about 12 for the first down. And this very well could be the ball game with 5:15 to play.
Well, you're past the halfway mark of the final quarter. You're down by 6, and you are looking at 2.5 yards to keep the chains moving.
No, you're not. You're looking at 12.
Like I said, you're looking at 12 yards to keep the.
I did it earlier tonight. I was totally blown away by it.
Sorry about that. I was hopeful, okay?
All right, folks, if it could happen to a Hall of Famer, it could certainly happen to me. 4th and 12 at the 29-yard line. Crowd coming alive. Back to throw. Turnbull. Time. Floats it out left. Ball is caught for a first down. It's caught by Roderick Sloan inside the 15 to the 13-yard line.
Merry Christmas.
A huge play. 16 yards on 4th and 12. 4.5 minutes to play, 20-14 Muskogee. Biggest throw of Turnbull's life. Sloan motions to the backfield. They hand it to him again, and he runs right in to a couple of defenders. Play's just not working anymore.
Hey, talk about the catch, huh?
It was outstanding. Loss of 2 to the 15-yard line. Clock is now approaching 4 minutes to play in the ball game. 2nd and 12 at the 15-yard line. Maybe time to abandon that play.
That's 3 straight minus-yard carries.
After they had not tackled him behind the line of scrimmage tonight. Sloan is in the backfield on the left hip of Turnbull. 2 receivers wide right. Roderick with that huge catch to keep this drive alive. They're going to throw out right. Ball is caught at the 5, and he's in for the touchdown. A simple slat pattern. The ball was caught at the 5, and he walked in for the touchdown. That's Savion James. How about C.J. Turnbull? Touchdown pass number 12. James with touchdown reception number 10. He's been quiet tonight, Brooksy, but here we go. The all-important extra point upcoming from Edgar Yanez. The snap is high. The hold is down. The kick is in the air at Putnam City. Thanks to Edgar Yanez, has taken a 1-point lead. Timeout, 3:47 to go in the 4th quarter. It's the Pirates 21 and Muskogee 20. We'll step aside for these messages on PCTV, powered by YouTube.
OKC. We believe in more than just selling cars. We believe in building relationships based on trust, transparency, and treating you like family. For more than 80 years, the Cavender Auto family has built our business on these simple, important values. We call it doing things the Cavender way. Cavender Ford of OKC would like to welcome all Putnam City Schools parents, students, faculty, and staff to visit us at 7320 Northwest Expressway. Confidence is
Jamie Beasley on a sky kick to the near side for the 22. Brings it out across the 25. It is down at around the 28-yard line. First down and 10 for Muskogee. They need only a field goal. They do have 3 timeouts and 3:42 to work with offensively, but the Pirates with their first lead of the night on a touchdown reception by Savion James from C.J. Turnbull at 15 yards, and it's 21-20 Pirates.
Well, this is what you like. In postseason play and the playoffs, you like a seat squirmer. This is one where if you're driving in your car, please pull over for the safety of those around you.
First and 10 to the 28. Love it. Delgado the snap, retreats, throws out left, ball tipped. Almost intercepted. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage. I'm not certain who it was, if it was Efferson or Alexander maybe. And because it was deflected, Stinson Powers couldn't quite come back and make the interception.
maybe I should correct myself. If you're watching this streaming, probably let's not be driving, right?
That's right.
Okay.
But that doesn't stop some people.
Unfortunately.
2nd and 10. Clock stops with 3:38 to play in the ball game. 21-20 Pirates. Muskogee back at the 28-yard line. Marquise Chaplin, the single setback. Delgado, the snap. Reteats inside the 20. He's hit as he throws, and the ball is caught by wide open Beasley at the 45, and he's into Pirate territory at the 45. And Delgado took a shot, and he is really in some pain. Looks like he's almost grabbing at his right knee. Man, he just got that ball off and was planted on his back inside the 20.
Well, that is K-State bound, and I imagine K-State would be happy when they see that on video. Dejon Ackerson on that linebacker blitz coming like mad, and quarterback just got the ball away, but boy, did he take a hit, and he is hurting. That means it's going to be a backup QB coming in with 3:32 to try to keep Muskogee going. That was the bad news for Muskogee. The good news was pass was completed all the way across midfield down to the 46-yard line.
26 yards on the completion, but it may have cost Muskogee their quarterback. Cason Delgado is in a lot of pain. He's being helped off the field to the south side here of Pirate Stadium, and that means Stylen McHenry, who played last year at Wagner for Dale Condit, 6'4", 190 pounds, and a senior, is going to come into the ball game for the Roughers. And what a position to be put in. He's completed 52% of his passes, 463 yards, 5 scores, 2 interceptions. But he is going to see the biggest moment of his career, trying to extend it to another week. 1st and 10, Muskogee at the Putnam City 46-yard line. 3:32 to play. Pirates 21, the Roughers 20. McHenry hands it off. Chaplin has some running room as he's inside the 45 to the 42-yard line, a gain of 4. And I would not be surprised at all, Brooksy, if we see a lot more of Chaplin as they lean on their senior ball carrier.
Yep. That snap was high. The handoff was very shaky, but they were able to complete the play and get 4.5 out of it.
I'll tell you what, I'm scared to death up here, and I'm not Stylen McHenry. 3 minutes exactly to play. Pirates by 1. 2nd and 6, Muskogee at the 42 of Putnam City. Hand off again to Chaplin. Stretched out, and he's going to be dump trucked down after a gain of 3 to the 39. It's going to bring up a very important 3rd down and short. Clock winding towards 2:40 to play in the ball game. 21-20 Putnam City.
Roughers have 2 timeouts remaining. Pirates have all 3 of theirs.
Roughers need to get to the 36. They're at the 39. 3rd down and 3, the biggest 3rd down conversion of the year for Muskogee. Double tight look. McHenry is going to, they're going to go with Barnowski, and he has the 1st down at the 34-yard line. Went straight behind left guard. They never did get him down, and they finally blow the play dead at the 31. Now that forward progress had been stopped, but no whistles, so he picks up 8 yards and a refresh of the down marker. Clock will stop momentarily for the middle of the chains with 2:10 to play. It now begins to roll. Roughers 32 yards away from the go-ahead score. They are content to take as much time off the clock as they can. Chaplin is in the backfield. Barnowski is back there as well. He is in a wildcat formation. 2 tights, wide receivers go left and right. Barnowski to run. 30, running left, 25. This guy's a load to get down. He's stopped finally at the 24-yard line. Coda Barnowski, all 225 pounds of him, but he plays much, much bigger than that when he gets forward steam ahead.
You got 1:29 clock running. Don't know what the field goal situation is for Muskogee, but they're down there where they got a shot for sure at the 25.
I can tell you, Ballalong's longest is 43 this year.
Okay.
If they don't gain another yard, it's a 41-yard attempt, and Putnam City wants a timeout.
Yeah.
And Ballalong is 2 for 2 in field goal attempts this year.
Well, there's a lot of reasons for this timeout. Number one is to talk over what you're going to do defensively here on a 2nd down. But also, you're beginning to look at a situation now where you need to have something left on the clock if they kick that field goal and get the lead. And you got 2 timeouts left, but you only got 1:19 on the clock. This is tightrope walking right here.
Looking ahead to the day after Thanksgiving, the winner will likely get the number 1 seed of the 6A Division II playoffs, Sand Springs. They were pulling away in the second half. If it's Putnam City, it's obviously the first matchup of the year between the Sandites and the Pirates. If it's Muskogee, it's going to be a matchup of 2 teams that met in week number 8. And Sand Springs won at Muskogee 49-28. Still a lot can happen, though, in the final 79 seconds. Putnam City just spending the timeout. They have 2 remaining. They haven't changed to the board. 2 timeouts for Muskogee. Down a point, 21-20. 2 tights lined up left. Barnowski out of the Wildcat, or actually Chaplin out of the Wildcat's going to try to run. Did he get there? He did not. He spun down to the 23. Only managed 1, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and about a yard for the rougher first down, and we're now exactly at 1 minute to play in the football game. Third down and 1 at the 23-yard line of Putnam City for Muskogee. 45 seconds to play. Out of the gun, it's Barnowski, and flags come, and there was movement. What a crucial mistake by the Muskogee Roughers. False start the call, and now they're back at the 28-yard line. Instead of 3rd and a yard, it's 3rd and 6.
Well, if you don't win the game and you're Muskogee here, you'll be looking back to this moment thinking this might have been the reason. We never know what would have happened. They just snapped the ball. But you're thinking the way things were going, they were probably going to get the first down with 40 seconds left to play, and then milk it on down and see if they could win it with the field goal. Timeout taken, I think, by
it was by Muskogee.
Oh, by Muskogee, okay.
And that will leave them with 1. Putnam City has 2 remaining. It'll be 3rd and 6 at the back end of the break with 28 at the ball at the 28-yard line. Putnam City coming to the ball game was plus 12 in turnover takeaways. Muskogee was minus 2. There's only been 1 turnover in this ball game, and that was the fumble by Mitchell Taylor on special teams. Back in the second quarter, they gave Muskogee a short field, but the Roughers were unable to do anything with it. Pirates have also put the ball on the ground one other time with Sloan, but he recovered his own fumble.
Sand Springs definitely advancing. They're at 35-6 over Piedmont in the 4th. Stillwater, they're advancing 34-9 over Southmore. And it looks like Choctaw is. They got a 15-point lead, 36-21 at Sapulpa.
Here with 41 seconds to play, it's 3rd and 6. Muskogee at the 28 of Putnam City. Pirates lead at 21-20. They empty the backfield. Back to throw is going to be intercepted. It's intercepted at the 10-yard line. The Pirates are going to win the ball game. It's picked off at the 10-yard line. Who had the takeaway? The interception by Stephen Matthews. How about that? They've tried to pick on him, and Muskogee threw it right to him, and he had the interception. I botched that call because I was trying to see who the quarterback was, and I think it was Cason Delgado that somehow came back into the ball game. And Delgado throws his 12th interception of his junior season, and this should seal the deal for the Pirates.
It did seal the deal, baby. You can put shit away. Everybody knows how to drop down to a knee. Victory formation time. Muskogee's got 1 more timeout to call. I got a radio show tomorrow involving Putnam City. It'll be a happy one.
C.J. Turnbull will go into a victory formation at the 16-yard line. He'll take an E. And again, Muskogee can stop it 1 more time if they so choose.
They don't.
And they're not going to. No, they have. They've taken the timeout with 25 seconds to play. What a win for Willis Alexander and Putnam City. And, hey, by the way, Brooksy, I talked that turnover into existence, didn't I?
You did.
I just had said Only one turnover that had not factored into the outcome of the ball game, and that Muskogee was -2 before tonight. And it turns out to be interception number 8 for the Pirates in takeaways through the air.
And that's why they pay you the big money to make the big statements when it's time to make it.
Sometimes you should not talk about things out loud as a radio guy, but occasionally it doesn't hurt to try and speak things into existence.
Boy, Stephen Matthews had a hefty game, didn't he?
He did, and I'm really happy for him.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like they tried to pick on him a little bit?
Yeah, well, probably wishing they hadn't right now.
Yep, he bit back at him. Got the biggest play of the night, and there's been a bunch of big plays for this Pirate defense.
Putnam City and Sand Springs next week. Site to be determined. Other side of the 6A2 football bracket in the semis, Stillwater and Choctaw will go at it.
So 3 of the 4 teams will come out of 6A Division 2, District 1. Here's the final snap of the ball game. Turnbull to an E, and Putnam City rolls on. Final score tonight in Oklahoma City. Number 3, Putnam City, 21. Number 8, Muskogee, 20. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this on PCTV, powered by YouTube. Hi again, everybody, and welcome back here to Pirate Stadium in Oklahoma City. What a football game. The only lead of the night turns out to be a permanent lead for Willis Alexander. 21-20, the Pirates advance to the state semifinals, and in doing so, eliminate a team that beat them out in the playoffs last year, and eliminate a Muskogee program that has ended PCO's season not once, not twice, but 3 different times dating back to 2005. What a win tonight for Putnam City.
And only the second time in history that Muskogee has lost to a Putnam City School District team.
You're right. Coming in, Putnam City had been dominated 1-5 against the Roughers, 1-16 the Putnam City District against Muskogee, but one team can survive, and 3 of the 4 again coming out of 6A District 1. Putnam City, Choctaw, Stillwater, the latter 2 will play for the right to play for a state championship next week, and then it will be Putnam City and Sand Springs on a neutral field. Stay tuned, we'll have times and sites to be determined. Brooksy, your final thoughts on what was just a tremendous football team, and one of these games that you really feel bad for either team that had to lose the contest?
Well, there's no question, and you go back with a minute and a half to go in that false start, and there's somebody in that offensive line that is sick for Muskogee right now. Whoever, I think it was on the left side, makes no difference. It was a false start, took away a 3rd and short. You had the clock in your favor. You still had your timeouts. You were almost like you were already in position for a field goal that would be shorter than your longest field goal of the year. It all was leaning towards Muskogee. A break was taken. Then the defense comes up with a big play. Obviously, Stephen Matthews with a fantastic interception. And I mean, he eyed that ball perfectly, stepped in front of the receiver at the 10-yard line, and got the most impressive victory for Putnam City, I would think, since back in the day when I was the voice of the Pirates under the Preston Pearson, thank you. The athletic director for the Putnam City School District has arrived now. Probably will want to say something, don't you think, Todd? Dr. Balancey.
I'm sure he's going to tell me and remind me again that I've been terminated before next week's game. So anyway, what the heck? I went out on a good note, Dick.
Todd, you're going to tell me if we don't win next week, it's our fault. But I just want to say, Todd, I appreciate you this year. You did a great job. You did an excellent job Didn't get to see the game, but my stomach is completely in knots, as you could imagine. I want to thank John Brooks for organizing, getting Sportscast Productions guys. And, Todd, you are a pro. I can't tell you about how many people have called me and said, who's that guy? And I said, well, he definitely has a voice for radio.
And a face for radio.
A face for radio, too. But anyway, no, Todd, I do appreciate it on the sincere side. Thank you for everything you've done for us this year. You've put some pizzazz and some excitement into our stream. We're glad to have you. If we do this again next year, we'll recruit you for that next year.
Appreciate that, Mr. Balancefin. All right, that's going to wrap it up tonight. Final score, 21-20. Sloan tonight, 25 carries, 136 yards. And again, he lost some late, but they were able to overcome it because he had the huge 4th down and 12 reception to keep the drive alive before Turnbull found James for the 15-yard touchdown pass. 23 carries for 160 yards tonight officially for Roderick Sloan.
I think you got to give Sloan player of the game considering the rushing yards, the tough yards. He doesn't get a lot of easy yards.
Totally agree.
And that catch you're referring to, that's a perfect pass, a perfect catch, and the defense was all over it.
I was going to say,
you couldn't play it any better without
They could not have played that play any better.
You couldn't do it any better without pass interference and knocking him down.
All right, we'll ask you, Dr. B, what do you think? Sand Springs, Putnam City. Could it be at Stillwater? Could it be at Choctaw?
I would think so. Maybe Shawnee. Thought about that. Could be at Shawnee. They have a good facility over there.
I'll walk right across the grass and come watch you guys play next week. How about that?
Hey, I hope so, man. Well, like I said, Todd, thank you for everything you did this year. We're definitely appreciative of all your hard work. So thank you. You're a pro, man.
Thank you, my man. Final score, final time, 21-20, Putnam City over Muskogee. For John Brooks, our entire PCN TV crew, I'm Todd Miller. So long, everybody.